I'm Vo, and welcome to our nail art tutorials. So today we're going to demonstrate this design right here, and everything that we use is available on www.tinovo.shop. Now let's get ready. So for this lesson today, we are going to focus on this look, and there is two different techniques. Technique number one is this one right here. Is kind of like a chrome encapsulated. It's very pretty, and I really love this style. It's on trend right now. This one and this one are similar. They both cat-eye ombre, so I'm gonna show you how to do an ombre. And then this ombre right here, I'm gonna show you to do the spike. And this ombre right here, it's just using the same technique as these fingers. So I'm gonna demonstrate two now for you guys today. This one and this one. I'm gonna put this right here. Now I am gonna take out some nails. 1, 2. And then I'm gonna take out some nail stand. 1, 2. And if you work on natural nail, before you design, you can go ahead and put on super base. This is my new super base Build It All, and this is a base coat. You can also use it as a builder gel. It's a brush-in builder gel. You can also use it as the base for glue egg extension or poly gels. You can also use it as blooming gels. You can also do crystal application, foil transfer, and if you have problem with chrome chipping, you can apply this on top of your chrome powders and then top coat this. And that will prevent your chrome from chipping. So this is something that I build for natural nail or for chrome enhancement for any other special effect. Now, I am going to start with this one. So this one, I'm gonna start with a chrome first, and then I'm gonna do cat eye later on. So I have to make sure that my nails is completely chrome proof. And that is when I use Teflon mat. Teflon mat is a coat that you use to prevent chrome from sticking on. It's isolate chrome because this coat is non-sticky to all chrome powder. I apply on one coat, and I'm gonna go ahead and clear the surface. And remember that chrome will stick on everything, including matte. But this is Teflon matte, and it's quite special than other matte. It is used to block chrome. So I'm gonna leave it right here. Okay, now, next, I am going to take a gel and do chrome around it, right? So there is two different layers. Layer number one is I'm just going around it, and then layer number two, I'm gonna take out clear texture gels, and I'm gonna emboss the frame, and then chrome it again. So first, I don't wanna use a gel paint because these patterns are very simple. I'm gonna use a gel polish instead. So this is a gel that I am going to use. It's called Shadow. And Shadow is a natural chrome bond. With one coat of this, cure for 60 seconds, chrome will stick on it right away. So I'm taking a nail palette and put my shadow out. There you go. Okay, now my other nail is done curing. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that out. So now chrome will not stick on this. Today we're using gold chrome. This is my gold chrome. Of course, I have many other colors. need a shadow applicators. So with my gold chrome, if you're a beginner, you want to make sure you can apply chrome on first and then take the fluffy brush and dust everything away to check to see if it's chrome proof yet, if there's anything wrong, if you apply too thin or anything like that. So just want to make sure. But the longer you work in, the more you trust it, the more you know how to apply, you get the hang of it, then you don't, I no longer need to check it. I only check it when I first started to design. So now I am gonna choose a brush, and between a 10mm liner brush and an emboss brush, I would choose an emboss brush because it's built thicker than a liner, so it's gonna be faster for me to apply. And of course, it's already be keep in shape with brush conditioning cleanser. You can see here the shape are perfect. It is very soft. But now what I need to do is to separate all the hair bristle. So I am taking out a carnivore dipping glass right here. And I am take out my brush conditioning cleanser. It will clean and condition your brush at the same time with oil and vitamin. And it's very healthy for your brush, and the oil formula are safe with our gel product. So I have just a little bit out, you don't need much. And you're gonna take your brush, you're gonna lean against the wall of the dip and dab cup, and you're gonna twist from side to side to thaw out the hair bristle like this. Like that. Then you use a paper towel to clean. Close the lid. Now I'm gonna do the same thing here. Lean against the wall of the palette and twist from side to side. Now I'm gonna establish my space that I'm gonna avoid. A big one here, like a circle but not perfect. Another one here. And maybe one right down here to imitate like a rocky effect. So I don't need the circle to be perfect because that's not gonna be as attractive. I am going to go in for one heel stroke right here, another one down here. There you go. See how much easier the emboss brush is? It's very thick. Well, not very thick, but it's thicker than a liner brush. Just like this. Another one down here. And then another one here. Okay, now I'm gonna fill it in. Then after this, I am going to cure shadow for 60 seconds. And when I take it out, after it's cured and applied, the chrome will only stick onto this black area that I'm using. And it will avoid everything else. It will avoid all this space in here. Okay. Check on both sides just to make sure if I don't apply too thick. You don't ever want to apply polisher too thick. Even though shadow is very forgiving when it comes to that. Now we're going to go ahead and put into the light now. And we're going to cure this for 60 seconds. I'm wiping the gel off my brush. Dip into brush conditioning cleanser. Clean it. Take it out. And then wipe off the excess oil. Mold the brush in shape, then put it back. And put this on the sides. And after that, I am gonna start the chroming process. Wait for it to cure. This is my pressed chrome. It's made out of small particle chrome. So your chrome not gonna be glittery when you apply top coat on. It stick to material very well. Have a little bit of it on here. Now the nail that I put into the lamp is already clear, so I am going to go ahead and rub on chrome now. See that? It's wonderful. Very easy too. It will just stick onto shadow and it will avoid everything else. Now, I'm not gonna rub it very thoroughly. Usually I will go over with a clean shadow applicator to make sure all chrome is rubbed away. And also I like to use this sometime. Let's use this. This is a silicone tool that I'm gonna use. And this silicone tool, I don't like to use it to apply chrome, but I like to use it to rub on chrome after I use the shadow applicators. And I like to go in circular motion, and it just help you rub the chrome more thoroughly because they have a flat, smooth surface, not like a shadow applicator with a spongy surface. So this is optional. You can do this if you're obsessed with the shine of your chrome. And then usually I will clean it with a clean shadow applicator, but I don't because I still have one more step to do with chrome. I still have to go around with some embossed gels or a clear texture gels and then chrome that so it have dimension. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. We're gonna take our clear texture gels. Okay, take our palette, open clear texture gels. Close this. Okay, now the brush that I'm gonna use will be a 10mm, but of course you can still use the embossed brush if you like. This is just up to you, what brush you're comfortable with. Then I'm gonna pick this up and I'm gonna go around this. Feel free to make it thick. This gel is built for that. See, when you use gel polish, you cannot make it thick. That just a golden rule for polish is never a thick coat of polish. But for clear texture gels, it is built for this, so it can be as thick as possible. Of course, clear texture gel. Sorry, I keep saying emboss. Clear texture gel because it's used for emboss. That's why I keep saying emboss. Clear texture gel also non-cell level. So if you have a bunch of these kind of lines that are close together, the line will not blend into each other. This gel will stay exactly where you put it. And when it comes to emboss, it's wonderful. Also the same with applying caviar bead or applying crystal even. Some people like to use this gel to apply crystal because it doesn't move on them. Now, after that, I can cure it again and then chrome it again. That's why I don't take the chrome cleansing very thoroughly because I know I have to chrome it again. Clean this brush. This gel is very sensitive to light, so I will prefer put it out on a palette instead of leaving the bottle open like this because you don't want to accidentally harden your gels. And then after that, I will go ahead and put on chrome one more time. After that, I clean everything and then start out the cat eye process. Take out my chrome, my shadow applicators. Now, and if you want, feel free to have a paper towel here so you didn't make your table messy. Go ahead and rub on again in circular motion always, because circular motion cover all angle. Just up and down like that, that just cover one angle. Side to side, that just cover one angle. So I always do circular motion. And if you want to use a silo contour, you can. Even though on embossed line, I rarely do. I only do on a flat surface. Okay, now that's very thoroughly. In circular motion also, just to make sure you get extra dust out from all these little crevices right here. It's very important because you don't want to leave loose dirt on the surface. Then it will make it glittery, because loose dust might flow up to the top coat surface when you're done, and you don't want that. Now, when I'm ready to move on to the next step, I always like to take this and I always like to rub it on again, and that will eliminate all loose dust from the surface. See, now it's all shiny, it's all clean. You're ready to go. So, what I am going to do here is I am going to take out my cat eye gel, and this is a new cat eye gel. I'm putting my chrome away for now. We're done with this, we're done with this. I'm putting these away. And I'm taking out this green apple magnetic cat eye. This is belong to my new collection, Petal Pine gel collection right here on my website. And I am gonna put it out on a palette because I'm not polishing this. I'm doing color block with an art brush. So I'm putting this cat eye out. And of course, I would like to choose not a liner brush, but a brush with more volume for this step. Okay, so you can use the emboss brush, of course. And there is a curling brush, which is shorter than the emboss brush. If that makes you feel comfortable, then use that. And what I am going to do is I am going to fill this space up with cat eye. Now, after I'm done filling this space, I always start in the middle and then work out to the edge. That's always easiest for me. And when working with cat eye, I would like to cure them one at a time so I can have a specific look for each space. If you fill them all and magnetize them all at once, then it will magnetize not each one, but it will magnetize the whole things. I don't prefer that as much as do it individually, because it's more, make it more special. Now, this cat eye, I am going to take our magnet, any magnet of your choice. This is my Vo.Tino magnet, and I am gonna approach it from the left side going in, and then from the right side going in. You can go up and down just to see how your magnet reacts, if it move away or if it move toward you. Also from the bottom and also from the top. And remember, you can move it like this. Just because if you move this, it could push it away, and if you go the other way, it could pull it back. And we're gonna go ahead and cure this. So the question is, well, Tino, why do you don't do the whole surface of the nail with cat eye first, and then apply Teflon mat on, and then do the chrome on top of it? Why do you do the chrome first, and do you have to fill this in one at a time? Why do you do that? So now this is where I need a piece of paper to show you. Now, if I were to do the cat eye first, of course that way it's gonna be faster, because I don't have to fill in each one at a time later. I can just fill the whole nail with cat eye, and then I will go in with all these little chrome detail that I have right there. And that's it. But I do the opposite way, because when you apply cat eye over the whole nail and you use a magnet, then the glare gonna be to the entire nail. This is the outside right here where it's dark and then go in, and then there is a glare in the middle. And then when you put all the chrome detail here, well, number one, some of the chrome gonna cover those precious glare. And number two is the glare is from here to here at one, from top to bottom. See, that's the glare right there. And it just not make it attractive to me, because I like the glare when it individually, like this, where you see it's dark right here, it's dark right here. If you put glare on first, then it wouldn't be dark in the bottom, it'd be all bright. And the only space that are dark is on both sides of the nail, that's it. That is a dark side, is around it. Where this is great, the depth around the circle individually. So that's why I prefer to do it the other way, because when I fill in the circle, the glare gonna focus right here and just right here around the circle, and the glare gonna be right in the middle. And then I move down here, I apply another glad eye, and the glare again is going to be right in the middle, and the depth, the shadow gonna be all around the circle, separately instead of all at once. So that is why I doing it that way. But of course, that is just based on taste and style. Of course, you can do it the other way if you choose to. Now I am going to complete my cat eye. And green apple is very strong, and it's a neon green cat eyes. And the color are very bright and vivid. See how bright it is? Just like that. It's very reflective. Go ahead and cure this. And of course, you can cure it for just like 5 to 10 seconds. Even though it is a polish, it can withstand flash cure. This rule only applies with just cat eye and not normal polish. Or not polish that are color. Because cat eye is not actually colors, it has pigment in there, like a reflective pigment and metal pigment. So it doesn't have like fine colors like the other gels. So it can withstand flash cure because it will pass through every layer of cat eye and hit the bottom, and it will cure solidly. Cure this. Now after I'm done with that, the reason why there is a beautiful blue aura around its circle, because this cat eye right here is stick to pigment, and I make it stick very smoothly to pigment. It independent layer, it inspired of our famous pigment base. Of course, it doesn't do as well as pigment base, but for a normal gel polish where it makes the pigment muddy and cakey, it's not going to be like that. Into this cat eye, it's gonna be smooth. So I am taking my pigment out. Put this away. This is my neon super pigment, also available on my website. I'm choosing blue. Take this out. Now, before you apply pigment, first you have to understand one simple rule, just in case, so you don't get misled. It will stick onto the cat eye, but it will avoid the chrome. And why is that? Because the chrome is completely dry. It is not gel, it's powder. So pigment have no business sticking on chrome at all. They two don't like each other, so they can avoid each other's. I just want you to understand that rule, just in case what's around here. If you go the other way, if you venture out and you decide you're not gonna chrome this, if around here is like a gel paint or a gel polish, then beware, because it's pigment going to stick on this, and you don't want that. So this is only gonna stick onto the cat eye. You need our paper towels. I'm using Viva paper towel, by the way. I'm taking this out, and I need a pigment brush. I'm taking this out. I'm using my finger to make sure all the bristles are nice and separate from each other. It's very healthy for pigment. Then I am gonna take my pigment out and I'm gonna smudge it onto the paper towel. I would like to rock it from side to side just like this. Rock it from side to side. Now I would like to knock off excess dust. You can do it in the edge of your table if you want, but if it's messy, you can find something like this, where it's square and it's steady. You can even cover your hand to make sure that it doesn't fly up. And what I'm knocking off is not the colors, but just a loose dust. Of course, you can see here the beautiful blue color is still on your brush, but the loose powder, the loose dust is no longer there. And this is when I can take this and I can go ahead and apply. From the edge, I'm going in. How much you apply, that is up to your taste. Up to how much you like blue or how much you like green. If you like blue, you apply more blue. If you like green, you apply less blue. Now I am gonna dust this. And how am I gonna clean this is I'm gonna take this and rub on the paper towel until the color go away. If you want to eliminate the color completely because you're gonna play with an opposite contrast colors, then you can also take out acetone and you can put this in and then dip in and blend it with a paper towel. But of course, it will require about a minute for it to dry. So if you choose this method, then you should have another brush ready just for you to work on. So these are the two cleaning methods that I have when it comes to pigment. And now all we have to do is go ahead and top coat this, which is very easy. This is my shined top coat and it's non-scratch. I'm gonna put this in. Now, before I put top coat in, I want to tell you guys about this gem. So this gem is, I call it my bubble gem. This is my bubble gem kit, available on my website also in the bling category. And for bubble gem kit, it have all pearl color. It's very pretty, very easy to seal. I am gonna take out pink. I like to pull it out on the triangle tray because that's make it easier for me. I can spread them out so I know which one the back is against the bottom, so I can pick it up easier. And if you shake it like this, then all the bead is gonna turn to the right side for you to apply. And I'm using the crystal katana, and the glue that I will be using will be crystal magic glue. Then I am going to apply my bubble gems. For bubble gem, the way I sealed it is that I apply top coat around and on it too because it doesn't have a facet. With anything that doesn't have a facet, then you don't worry, you can apply top coat on it. But crystal, you cannot apply top coat directly on crystal because it have a facet. A facet is a cut of the crystal, and if you cover that, then it's gonna become pearl, so it's no longer pretty with crystal. But with pearl, you can apply top coat on because it's already don't have any facet on it. So I glue it on just like that. Give it a big one right here. Now this is directly onto raw chrome powder, so be very careful and cautious when you're doing this. Okay, I'm gonna take this out, put it right here. I am gonna return this to my Bubble Gem palette. Now, when it comes to top coating, you can do it individually if you like, or you can do all of it if you like. It just depends on you. It's just up to you. I'm using Shine all over. And I apply Bubble Gem first because I want to coat it Bubble Gem too. If you do 10 finger, that's great, because then you have time to wait for the glue to completely dry before you apply. On to raw chrome powder, you cannot use activators because that's gonna interfere with the chrome. Activator is something that you put on to make sure the glue dry immediately. But I put on minimum amount of glue because I know I'm gonna seal it. So now I can apply immediately because my glue is already dry. And if the glue haven't dry, you know, because your top coat will become sticky. You know when you perform an application. That's pretty. You're gonna go ahead and apply and cure for 60 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna put this back. Now, next step, I want to demonstrate for you the ombre. This nail and this nail both have ombre. This nail have a different spiky pattern that you haven't seen, so I'm gonna do that on here for you. This pattern, you already seen it. It's the same pattern as this nail. So I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna demonstrate the flower and the spike for you. But first, let's learn the most important thing is ombre. People making a lot of money off ombre. So this is something I like to, I wanna make sure that you know how to do. So I am applying Cateye on. Now, if your plan going to be half and half green, half nude, then your color need to be a little higher than the between point. See, the between point is right here. You want that color to be higher, so the next color, it can overlap it. Because you don't want to apply, if your between point is right here and you apply right there, and then your gel, when you put your nude over here to here and you apply, it's not going to be very good. It's going to be very bumpy. So you don't want that. You want to overlap it. So I apply on my cat eyes. And I would like to take out an ombre brush to give it a quick blend. This is my ombre brush. Make sure that not just the hair are tall, but you see the body is in shape too. You're gonna make sure that you take out the conditioning cleanser and twirl it around just so the body can be nice and soft. The body is this part down here. Now it's nice and flexible. It's gonna help your ombre. We're gonna blend it through. Just focus on the edge. Do not reach in here and pour gel out. You just focus on the edge and you just fade it out. After that, we're gonna magnetize this before we cure. Again, from the left side, you're going in. I'm doing this first because I know that they're gonna pour. Well, if I do this, if I twist it like that, it's gonna push. This is a pattern that you can learn. The longer you mess with cat eye, the more you know how your magnet works. But when you first mess with it, you have to be slow so you can study the patterns. Now here, I am going down and it pulls toward the magnet. Then the tip, also see that, I'm pulling up. See, it's just about learning how your magnet work. And of course, your cat eye have to be high quality for the glare to be this vivid. Then we're gonna go ahead and cure this for 60 seconds into the light. And of course, right after, you can apply pigment if you wish. Now, when you take this out, if your customer requests it to be a little more popping, what you can do is you can take out emboss jelly and give it a quick plumb right into each space right here, and that will make the design elevated. Of course, you can charge more money when you're doing stuff like this. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit out. You can use the same head to tour it out, or you can use a curling brush to do that. Clean this. Clean this again. Then I am gonna tour it out right to the edge of the perimeter. That's why I want it to be thin, because if it's thick, then it will be difficult for me to maneuver it like this. And same thing down here with the gel that I already have. Okay, now before I'm doing this, I want to take out my flash cure, because I want to make sure that each space that I put emboss jelly on, I want to flash cure it so it doesn't collapse on me. Collapse meaning a cell level gel is a bit too high, it can collapse and spread out, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna, the slip layer is already on and it's wet right now. So if I put on a big bulk, it's gonna help guide it out, because what underneath it is wet. Of course, you can twirl it around just to speed it up and help it, but it's gonna be very easy now. You don't have to struggle to swipe against the edge and make with accurate, because you already have the slip layer. Now I am doing this. So you might want to ask about this flash here, and after I'm done, I will explain it to you why I use this flash here. Go ahead and apply this part out, twirl it out again. See, the gel down here is still wet, and you might ask, well, why it's still wet? You just flash cure that. I'll explain for you after I'm done here. Okay, now I'm gonna cure this into the machine. See how it's prettier? So the reason why I use this flash cure, because back in the day I used to use a light to have a cord, and I like that, but it's very inconvenient and it gets in my way. So I started to use a flashlight, so it can be cordless, but the flashlight is battery operated. And when it comes to battery operated flashlight, if it go weak, you wouldn't know, because the light's still blue, but it's not going to cure out fast, and you wouldn't know. So it's very dangerous and inconvenient. So that's why I developed this, because this have a cord so you can charge, but you can unplug this and they still work. But that's number one. That's what I love about it. But number two is this angle, this curvature that I have around the seashell. And it's not just for look, but it also can separate design. If you have gel on both, on 3 parts right here, and they are wet, if you want to cure the top, all you have to do is place the edge right here to completely separate whatever underneath here. So when you cure, it's only cure this part where the line is exposed, but you see the line already separate down here. So that is how you can separate your design when you're working with something that like this, what I just did. So that is another amazing thing about the seashell flash here. That's how it's called on my website. It's called seashell flash here. So I'm gonna put it on the sides. Now my cat eye is already done here. I am going to go ahead and apply some blue. You might see that there is some blue that I just apply right there. I'm gonna take this out, and I'm gonna take our pigment brush. Make sure all the bristles are nice and smooth. If you know there's gonna be a flower here, then you can just skip pigment right there, or you can just go for it all over. It's up to you. And of course, when you apply pigment on this cat eye, the cat eye is still gonna show through the pigment, and that's another beauty of it. That's another bonus. All right, now you're already done. We're gonna go ahead and put on top coat before we ombre. Why is that? Because pigment right here, if you apply your nude onto about right here, and then you take the ombre brush and you brush, you're gonna scratch your pigment because your pigment is still raw. So it's important to take our top coat and top coat it first to make sure that you protect everything that you have going here from top to bottom. And then we're gonna go ahead and cure this. Close the containers. I believe that I'm done with pigment now, so I will put this back. I have all kind of different pigment on my website. All right, now we're gonna put this back also. And we will proceed with the ombre. Let's take our cream nude. And of course, we need our ombre brush. Make sure that it's clean from the cat eye. Now, this is where the important point coming in. For ombre, especially ombre over something that is shiny and glittery, it's not a color. So I cannot use sponge, I have to use brush. My tricks is to apply thin layer because thin layer are very easy to ombre. That's number one, is the way to ombre. But number two is the gel. The cream nude right here. All of my top gels, I have 12 shades of top gel. Cream nude is one of them. And top gel are very easy to ombre because it's allow you to apply really thin and still gonna be smooth. Not thin and streaky. It's very smooth. I'm gonna go on first, cure that first. Now, 1 thin layers, 2 thin layers is equal 1 moderate layers. So if your design have 2 layers of gel, then with thin layer, you easily apply 4. Because it's 4 thin layer is equal to 2 moderate layers. Very helpful to know when it comes to ombre. Gonna go ahead and apply another thin coat. By now, you already see that it's about to cover the blue, so that's a good sign. And again, use your ombre brush. You have to make sure the ombre brush are clean though before you start brushing, because the way of ombre is by spreading pigment really thin. So if you have gel on that, then that wouldn't be spreading it, that would be adding to it. Then cure. So you can easily have 2 more thin layers. The trick is, let me take my pen out. So remember, number 1 is thin application. Number 2 is if your ombre is about right here, then your next layer is going to need to go past it. Why is that? Because for ombre, it's really not about your blending skill. You can be a little sloppy, but if you have any kind of streak right here, then when you apply the next layer, when you go past it, then the next layer is gonna cover all the imperfection of the previous layer. So when it comes to ombre, it doesn't matter how many coat you apply. The only coat that you truly worry about is the last coat. But everything along your way is going to be perfect if you follow that rule. You see, it doesn't matter what's going on here, because your next layer, you will go past it. See, you go past it. Of course, I restroked it because I want to make sure that it's thin. I don't want to take it. Thick is not a way. It's not the way for ombre. Ombre needs to be thin. Okay, and now you're gonna get rid of that edge. Look at that. It's about to get perfect. See, that's the only thing you worry about is the last coat right there. Of course, you still can do another coat, but at this point, it already seemed perfect to me. So I can stop right at this point. Hear this. Now, your next step going to be the flower and the spike. Doesn't matter which one you do first. You have to make sure that you completely eliminate the surface from chrome, because you're going to work with chrome right here along the spike. So you need Teflon matte on first, and that will ensure that your surface will be chrome free. So you can do chrome. Okay, clear that. It's done curing. Take out Teflon matte and apply. Just like that, and clear. I'm gonna take out clear texture gel first. Clear texture gel I'm gonna use to draw 2 lines. Chrome that. And then after that, I am gonna do the spike on top of it, and then chrome that. Now, I need to take out the 10mm line. I envision my flower right here. And I am going to draw on 2 lines. One from here up. If your line is a little thin, you can switch brush. Emboss brush will ensure that it's thicker for the spike to be on. Then I will go ahead and cure this. 60-second cure. If you want, you can flash cure it also, because we're not done chroming yet. We need clear jello. Clear jello is something that I use for spike. And I am going to take out the round pointer because it's a thick brush. It's a round brush. I am going to thaw this out with brush conditioning cleansers. Clean this. Now the trick for spike is that the pulling, when you pull out, you have to pull it out slowly like this. Let me zoom in so you can see. when you pour, you have to pour very, very slowly for it to become a spike, see? Because if you pour too quick like this, if you pluck it out, then it's gonna be tilted. See that? If you just pluck it out like that, it's gonna bounce back. And you don't want it bounce back, so you have to pull it out and slowly disconnect it. Like that. So we're gonna take this out. And we are going to use clear J.Lo, which is similar with clear texture gels, but clear J.Lo is stronger when it comes to non-cell level. It's 100% non-cell level. It's not ideal to draw. Clear texture is ideal to draw embossed line, but clear J.Lo, I use it for things that clear texture gel could not do. And when it comes to which one I'm using more frequent, I would say that I use clear texture gel more frequent than clear J.Lo, even though clear J.Lo is pretty awesome. And of course, you can get it in between just to ensure that your spike stays nice and sharp. You can do a longer spike if you want. You just have to apply more gels. Depend on your client, how far they want to go. Some client doesn't like to be poked with pointy things. And some client love to be poked with pointy things. So it just depends on them. Just like this. Clear this. Then you move on the other side. If you don't want to reach all the way over here, then you can just turn your client hand upside down. And this is how you turn the hand upside down. If the hand is like this, you can tell them to do this. Because when I first started, I was scared. So I always keep in between like this. But the longer I do it, the less scared I become. So I don't need to do this. It just depends on how confident you are. Also, this gel is amazing for glacier effect, which you will see more in the winter. Cure this, and you're done. You're ready for chrome. So that is clear J.Lo. And I clean this. Now next step is chroming. So I am taking my chrome back out. Now let's chrome, and we can go on it with confidence because the surface is already have Teflon matte. It's not going to stick on the surface. It's only going to stick on your design. So you can go chrome out and start chroming. It's a little tricky to chrome with spike, but of course, Teflon matte will ensure that, see, I can just go over this. I'll be safe. That is also another trick for you to design. See, you don't need skill, you just need the knowledge for it. What step to get to do first, so it can make your life easier. Without Teflon matte, then the design will be very difficult, almost impossible. Just like that. And with details that are too tricky, like in between the spike, I will save it for my silicone tool later on. And be gentle with the spike because you haven't top coated yet. So you still need to be slightly gentle with it until you top coat it. And I use my silicone tool and I go in between. Beautiful. See, again, with our silicone tool, at this point, I will be blindsided. I wouldn't even know what to do. I'll dry my fingers. I dry a brush. I try to squeeze my huge shadow applicator right in here. Probably break one of the spike. It'll be a disaster. That's why when it comes to material and tool, it's very important. It can make your life easy, but without it, ooh, don't even dream of design like this without it. That's why it's challenging for some people because they don't have the material for it. Go ahead and brush this away, all the dust. And I am gonna go through and cleanse it. Now, before I keep on cleansing it, I wanna show you just this little spot right there. You see that? Chrome still on it. So, for some reason, if your brush couldn't remove it completely, maybe the spike is in the way, then now you know to take out the clean shadow applicators because that will further remove it. See that? Perfect. Just in case, because sometimes people are panicked. If it stick a little bit, they're like, oh no, what did I do wrong? My Teflon mat, I apply it on, but it still stick. And what happened is it's not sticking on the surface. It's just trapping there, and your brush couldn't remove it for some reason. So now you just have to find a different tool like this to further remove it. Knowing that also help you. If you bump into a situation like that, you don't panic. You know exactly what to do. So my spike is already done. It is time for me to top coat everything. Or you can wait till your flower to be done and top coat. It's up to you. Shine it out. And what I am gonna do is I am going to, let me think. Well, actually, you know what? Since this is matte, I'm not gonna top coat it. I am going to do the flower and then top coat the flower, top coat the bottom, top coat the spike, leave everything matte. So that's gonna be one of my strategy. So when it comes to flowers, I need Clay dough. This is my white Clay dough that I'm gonna use today. Clay dough is non-stick, so it doesn't stick to your hand. So if you want it to stick on the background well and fast, because if not, then you have to put on a piece of Clay dough. And remember, if you really press it, oh wow, it sticks. But sometimes it doesn't stick because if you really press it, sometimes it stick to your finger instead. Yeah. And then it's not sticking to the surface. Since it's non-stick, the gen are 50-50. So how am I doing it? I'm just laying it on the surface and gently press it and tap it gently, like this. Gently tap it in slowly, and that will adhere on the surface. And the more I tap it, the more I can go. But an easier way to do this will be using sticky. I have a gel called sticky. Sticky is used to apply dry flower. Foil too, but it's so much stronger than foil's gel. It applies dry flowers. It applies money, like cut out money. It applies all confetti, anything that are flat. So I'm using sticky to use it as a base. I am putting this on. I have one petal right here, one petal right here, one here, one right here, and one right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and cure my sticky 60-second cure in the LED light or UV light. My finger is a mess, but I don't want to use acetone because that's another thing you should aware is that acetone is melt gel. So it will melt this gel and it will make it sticky, which can be beneficial or not. It's up to you. If you have it on your hand, it might stick to your hand, which is not beneficial. But if it's on the foundation, the nail, then give it about 5 to 10 seconds. It might stick to the nail itself. It might be beneficial. So it can go either way. So when it's come with acetone, be aware of this. So I'm gonna take a paper towel and just dry clean my glove. If it's still messy when I using the white clay dough, I'll know and I will deal with it then. I am gonna take out the same tool that I'm using. This is my engraver and mixer. Of course, you already know the engravers, but I'm using the mixer this time to scoop gel out. I will use the engraver later. I will show you both. These tools I use a lot, almost in every single set. I will take out a whole bunch of beads. Okay. Now, what I am gonna do is roll it on just one side, not on the entire bead. So I am taking my fingers and tilted my fingers and roll. So it gives me like a teardrop effect. I am putting this on here. See the teardrop? And it's quick sticks quite nice to the foundation. So it's a way that you can work faster with clay dough. I always do this, a gentle tap, just to make sure that everything's secure. I never do a harsh tap. Anything can happen when you do that. Always be super gentle. If you work with clay before, that'll be very easy for you. With the mixing tool right now, I'm gonna switch head. I am using the engraved head right here. And I am tilting it at 45-degree angle. So the inside of the flower is flattened first. And I slowly pull it out. I never leave it flat and press it. When it comes to flower petal, I always do this. And then slowly press out on both sides. But you see here that I need a paper to show you. That when this is my center. So when I do the petal, I always stick out my point right here and I leave a little space right here so my flower, it can be thin in here, and out here I can slowly press it to custom the thickness or thinness of it. But you see, when I go on both sides, a lot of people do this. They jump out here and they jump out here, so the petal become a square or a circle, where my point is staying right here, and I go from the left, from the right, and I keep the same pivot point. So that is what you want to do with your petals. You can do that slowly, or you can also do this. I will demonstrate on the other flower. Okay, you can do that. You can tap, 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 tap lightly, or you can give it one harsh tap right in the center. One harsh tap on the side, another harsh tap on this side to give it more of a texture. So either way is good. There's no right and wrong. There's just style, different style. Depend on if you want your flower to be natural or even, it's up to you. This is amazing gel to play with for its non-stick ability if you're aware of it. Okay, now I'm gonna readjust this flower just a little bit because it's different than the rest. It's important that I show you more than one way to do it. This. Okay, easy breezy acrylic flower. Cure this. But when you work with acrylic, of course you already know it's miserable to work with acrylic, especially for beginners. Now the next color, the beautiful pink in here, I am gonna use one of my newest gel again, from the same collection, the PETAL PINE gel collection from my shop, and this is called Boss Babe. I am gonna put this out on a palette. Of course, Boss Babe you can buy individually now also. Put this back. And I am taking out the coloring brush. This brush right here, clean. Take it out. Now, I am going to put it in the centers. Use a coloring brush to pull it out on each side, right in the middle. This is where you see the full potential of the coloring brush. Now I am going to blend this, so I am going to clean this. You don't have to clean it with a cleanser. You just blend it to get all the gel off it, because you're still going to work with gels. But now it's free and clear, so you're going to ombre it. With the same coloring brush, when I work with portrait, I also doing the same thing with blending using the same brush. Gonna go all over, focus on just the edge, blend it out. And then clean this again. All nice and dry. You go back, blend it out more. Focus on just the edge, remember? But now it's gonna be nice and thin on the edge. Then you're gonna go back and apply some gold bead right here. But first, let's put it in and cure this for 60 seconds. And I'm done with my Boss Babe colors. So we're gonna go ahead and wipe it off. And the color does match the gems. Okay, now after that, we are going to go to the top coat process. It's not a regular top coat process. Top coat the flower, you top coat the tip, you top coat the spine. So with that, I need art brush. So I am taking our palette and put our shine it and use my art brush. The coloring brush will be what I use for top coat because it soaks onto top coat very, very well. Unlike liner brush, where it's impossible to keep top coat on it. I clean with a cleanser for my coloring brush this time. And then I started out before I top coat. I am getting clear texture gel and put it right in the middle for my beads. Take out gold caviar bead. This is my gold caviar bead. You can find it on the website. It's made out metal, so you can pick up with a magnet. After you satisfy with your amount, you can flash cure this. 1, 2, 3, and you are ready for top coat. And remember, this flash cure, you can also cure it on top of gels because of this right here. The bottom will prevent the light from getting into any gels. Then let's use our top coat on the palette with shined top coat. And draw the flower first. Start from the bead and you pull it out so it go against all the groove right here. It go with all the groove so it doesn't flood your petals. You don't want too much top coat though. If you want, you can top coat one petal and then flash cure. 1, 2, 3. Do another petal, flash cure that petal, and so on and so on. Cure 1, 2, 3. Keep on going. And cure 1, 2, 3, and keep on going. Just like that. And cure 1, 2, 3. Keep on going. Right here. And cure 1, 2, 3. The bottom, I like to go around the gap right here just to further secure your clay dough. Right at the gap. Right there. Struck it in. See, coloring brush you can use for top coat and painting the tip like this too. Just the way that it's built, unlike the liner brush, which make this process difficult. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going for the spike. Going in between the spike. 1, 2, just like that. After that, we're gonna flash cure these. 1, 2, 3. Gonna move here, doing the same thing. Here, 1, 2, 3. Feel free to double coat it if you feel like you might accidentally left out any corner that the chrome is not protected. You can do it again just to ease your heart. 1, 2, 3. Then the other side again. Second time you can fly through it. Because most of it already been sealed. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm gonna cure this. And after that, I will be done. Make sure all your brush is clean before you put it back. All right, I hope you enjoyed this lesson today. And this is the two methods that I use to construct this design. And don't forget to subscribe us on YouTube at Tino Vo. And everything that I use today, all the product is available on www.tinovo.shop. And until next time, bye-bye.